pop this piece of crap in, and what do you get?
What are you doing, you fun?
Damn it! You broke the rules! You
Football is one of the most popular sports the world has ever seen, with the first examples of ball play being in the year 200 AD, not 2000 AD, 200, when a couple of mates from the Han Dynasty started to score absolute bangers. The estimated fan base of modern football is around 3.5 billion people. That's just under half the world's current population. So it's safe to say that people enjoy football. Video games are one of the most popular things to do currently in the world, with over 3 billion people playing video games. And with the first video game being made in 1958, over the years the video game industry and fan base has grown into what it is today.
You're Mega Man.
Yeah. I'm man.
People like football, people like video games. If you combine them, you're more than likely going to get a FIFA kind of game. Or for those niche gamers, the football event in my own Sonic at the 2012 Olympic Games. Even with powerhouses like these, are there any more immersive football games? You read the title, it's Vrfs. Vrfs is a virtual reality football simulator, which is the name of the game obviously. The game was published on the 3rd of February 2023 and to high praise. And over the nearly 3 years that it's been out, the game has been polished and developed into today's version, and has a current review rating of 4.6, with reviews such as Best Game Ever, Best Game Ever, and however, with all these positive comments, there's bound to be bad reviews, aren't there? Well, in fact there are. This review is by Cuzzo616 and says the following. Toxicity. There's so much kids swearing and saying racial slurs and being racist about black people. I go on one server and there's 2 kids saying racial slurs to the other kid. The community sucks here. Every few servers I see a nice person. And another similar review by Mansfield11 that says, bad game. So I joined a lobby with this kid that was like 6 and then he kept saying the N-word, so I reported him, then I got banned. After reading this, I'm just thinking that it's crazy that these 2 different people have such an identical experience with the game. And it seems too good to be true as well that these comments are only 4 days apart, and they're fairly recent. And these aren't the only ones as well, there are plenty more like this.
Something ain't right here!
As a somewhat known member of the VRFS community, I know that this stuff happens. The good and the bad, and that's why we're here. Today in this video, I will be dissecting the game and its community and putting it into 3 different groups. The good, the bad, and the godly. Why isn't it called the ugly? Well, when we get there, we get there. Without further ado, let's get to the first topic, the good of VRFS. VRFS games, in my opinion, split into 2 different categories. The first is casual games, where it's a public and you're playing with your mates, practicing skills, or just skying the ball and playing 6-7. Can't believe I've just done that. Why have I just done that?
I can't believe you've done this.
It's fun for most as there's little to no pressure. Imagine it's just a kickabout at some local park with your mates. The second version, matches, doesn't even feel like the same game, especially in those top leagues. Strict rules, no laughter, enough sweat to make a VRFS fountain, consisting of players' sweat. But with all that being said, they are fun as well. They're just a tiny more stressful, as the way you perform actually matters. You're able to have those choices to play where the score does and doesn't matter. Along with the traditional games, there are also practice lobbies, which are obviously for practice, where mostly people chill, talk, and just do training basically. Alongside the main aspect of the game is cosmetics, with there being a large shop where you can look fresh and clean and like that. That's the game aspect in its most basic form. I mean, realistically, if you know what football is, that's VRFS, but on VR. VRFS is the type of game where in one update, it would be like a whole new game mode that is really fun and creative. Then a couple updates later, they create a magnum opus that is a racetrack, which no one asked for.
What the fuck is this piece of
And don't get me wrong, the majority of updates surrounding new maps and game modes are normally positive and are actually really good. Hell, they even had a collab with Puma, like, what? That's another thing. This is only a recent topic, but Vrfs have started to do collaborations, first with Puma. Vrfs have also started to make collaboration gear with one of their content creators, Devious Fellow, and also alongside Link and Sebi. And an entire team as well, Mullets FC. Which, to anyone not in the Vrfs community watching, you probably don't know who this team are. Well, to inform you, we will get to that Vrfs. Custom jerseys are essentially the kits which people wear in game. It's not only a good feature for the game as teams can have their own kits and distinguish themselves, but it also opens up the gates of creativity as people have the ability to create such beautiful kits like this, this, and this.
What a sick joke!
Along with there being maps made by the original developers, there's also a feature where members of the community are also able to make maps. And it's safe to say that the community puts much more effort into these maps. I mean, you have safe to say there's a strong community around making custom arenas. And about making custom arenas, someone has made a whole Minecraft house along with like a nether portal and the end portal. And we've actually got an interview of the guy. So let's hear what he had to say about and how long it took for him to make the map.
Hello, I'm Aguero and I have got 2,100 followers on TikTok and I am most known for my kits and I made the Minecraft house.
Right. Aguero, your first question is, why did you start making a Minecraft map and make it into what it is now?
To keep it short, I was ill with COVID 1 week and I was bored, so I decided to do something to boost the community of Vrfs and involve a sense of involvement with the people of Vrfs.
How many hours do you think you've put into the actual map?
See, I actually do know this. It has taken me around about 49 hours to build this map.
Wow.
And that is not, that's not 48 hours straight, it's 48 hours of building over a certain amount of time. I'm not sure how long.
Did you have anyone else help you?
Nope, entirely done by me.
Wow. What's the map code for it so people can go check it out?
I actually do remember this. It is 10085027. Don't ask me how I remember that, but I just do.
Final question. What are your plans for that map? Are you gonna work on something else, or are you gonna keep updating that map?
So in one of my previous videos, I said that for every 10 likes the video got, I would add an Eye of Ender to the end portal. And then after that, I'm going to fill in the portal, build a mini end island, and I'm going to build a separate map for the end. And then I'm going to see what else there is to build.
Alright. Okay, Aguero, thank you for answering the questions. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
What a sick joke!
With every game that comes out now, there's bound to be an online community built to post videos and clips about their beloved game. Vrfs is no exception to this rule. Along with having their own TikTok channel with posts dating back to the 9th of February 2022, the community has made a fair share of content with videos coming in and out, Videos made by the community range from edits, funny skits,
What a nice day to take the bus.
clips of matches, showcasing new skills, new boots, cosmetics, and pretty much anything you can do in VRFS, there's a video about it. And with this part of the video, I've gotten some of the biggest content creators to show their perspective on content creation in VRFS. So let's go to those interviews.
Hello, my name is Angry T. I'm a verified VRFS content creator and I've got 4.5k on YouTube and almost 5k followers on TikTok.
I'm Central. I've got 29k followers on TikTok, and I'm a verified VRFS CC.
My name's Enzo VR. I post VRFS content just like Snuffy Ray and a bunch of other people. I'm a gold CC.
Hi, I'm Devious Fellow. I'm a verified VRFS content creator and I'm almost at 50,000 followers.
First question is, what's it like being a content creator for VRFS?
I'm not too sure. It's a bit strange. There's a lot of random content creators out there, so I don't really feel like I'm a content creator. I don't know. I don't even know what it feels like to be a content creator. I've been doing this for like 2 years. Feels kind of normal.
Well, it's kind of normal. It gets a bit annoying when you go in pubs, you know, but you can just change your name.
I think it's really cool being a CC. There is a few problems I have with the CC. Well, not a few problems. It's mainly kind of just one. But apart from that, it's fine. I just kind of feel like some people with the silver CC, some people have it that don't deserve it, or just don't post like high quality content, in my opinion.
Times it's very chaotic, but most of the time it's just really fun to see all like your fans running up to you in Publix. So I'd say it's quite fun.
What's it like to have fans and how do you connect with them?
Oh, I connect with them. God. I don't know.
Having fans is good because, you know, it gives you people that you can like talk to, gives you an audience that you can broadcast, you know, whatever you need to. Mainly to talk to the fans, you know, you just gotta go in pubs occasionally. I mean, sometimes when you go in pubs with, you know, the name, it gets a bit annoying, but you can just change the name and that, you know, kind of gets past that issue.
I think it's really cool to have fans. It definitely builds your confidence. Well, for me anyway. And I don't know. I think it's a really good feeling. If you're ever feeling down or you're feeling unmotivated, I feel like they'll definitely bring you back up to where you want to be.
At times it's very chaotic, but most of the time it's just really fun to see all like your fans running up to you in Publix. So I'd say it's quite fun.
How time consuming is content creation?
Time consuming? Does that mean like how much time?
Yeah, how long does it take? Is it a lot of your time or is it not much?
Take a bit of time.
It's really not that hard. So for me, I've learned to edit decently quick, so it only takes you like what, half an hour to edit a video. My recent videos are taking about half an hour if you check my page, which, you know. So yeah, it's not actually that hard.
I'd say it kind of just depends on the platform. YouTube is a lot more time consuming in my opinion, because you gotta make the thumbnail, you gotta, well, the title doesn't really take long, you kind of just gotta like use your brain, but mainly the thumbnail is a big part and the editing and then how long you're recording for. I mean, that's kind of the same thing with TikTok, but I feel like the thumbnail and the editing means more on YouTube than it does on TikTok. On TikTok it's kind of just shorter form and then you kind of just do whatever you want. So well, wait, why are you trying to ask me? What's more time consuming?
For me, it is very time consuming. It's basically taken over my life. I spend hours every day editing, recording, and I know there's different levels. Like other CCs could be uploading like once a week. I try my best to upload like 5 times, 6 times a week. Horrible, but the end result is worth it.
Final question: how much money have you made from content creation?
Oh, bloody hell, straight into that. Do I have to say?
Yeah.
God, I won't say how much, but I'll say like plus, like something plus, you know. I made like
Full time.
2k plus.
I'm not sorry.
Not even like a rough number?
I can't give you a number. It's over 5k though.
No, don't put that in. I actually have no clue. I can't answer that. I'm not even saying that just to be like edgy or anything. I actually
You
don't
told
know.
me you made 4 cents.
But you've got
Okay, no,
you've
but
got a
that's
number,
that's how much I have on the account right now. That doesn't mean how much I made overall. I think did I get someone send me a Galaxy? I actually know, I have no clue. I've done a few TikTok lives. I've got gifted a few roses.
Estimate it.
Right, you can't ask me that.
Yeah, I have. No, I've asked everyone else. They've all of them have given answers. Central, T, Enzo. They've all given me answers. You have to give me one. If you want me to censor it, I can. For the vid file.
But I can't tell you.
And there you have it, the cunning words from VRFS's biggest content creators. Now, let's go on to the next topic. And in order to play competitively, you of course need teams to play in leagues. And it's fairly easy as anyone can make a team with varying levels of success. As some teams have actually won IRL money from the game along with customs and credits as prizes also.
To have money.
Teams are really the gears that keep the competitive scene flowing. So let's name some off, just so you can get to see how unique and creative some of the teams' names are. AGX, PSG, QPR, Snuffers FC, Oxford United, Scum, Young AGX,
Money.
Cup of TFC, Chaos FC, Dynamo Milan, Mullets FC, and of course the Marmite Munchers. Only OGs know about that one, Chief. They only know about that. There you go, fairly easy topic. On to the next one. In VRFS, in order to play in a more competitive matches environment, you have community-run leagues, which are essentially your premier leagues for whatever teams apply to play in that league. The reason why this section is captioned at most leagues is because most leagues do have good intentions, hosting leagues, cups, building a community and stuff like that with respectable people to maintain it. I've played and been in many good leagues myself, which respond quickly and actually play the games they're supposed to, along with everything running smoothly, which is good. It gives a purpose to keep playing the game. However, some leagues and owners aren't as clean as they really should be, and that's what we're going to cover in the bad. And alongside just talking about leagues in general, I've actually been able to get some people to talk about their perspective on leagues. These include a referee, a couple of players, and a POC to show the different perspectives on how leagues maintain and just basically run in general.
Hi, my name is Cozy and I'm a ref inside the league VFA, and I've experienced refereeing in loads of big leagues, including VSL, VFA, and some of the top leagues in VRFS.
What's it like to be a referee?
Well, usually you get put under a lot of pressure with your decisions, and sometimes you can make one mistake and everybody screams at you and you feel like you're under pressure. Every decision you have to carefully think about.
And final question, what's the worst experience you've had in a game as a ref?
Worst experience I've had as being a ref is when I made a correct decision, but one of the players didn't like it, so he started calling me slurs and making fun of where I'm from and being racist.
I am Norman. I play for Sporting in VFA Prem.
Alright, I'm Penaldo. I play for Ajax currently. I've played in many teams like Ajax, Mullets, Hull, PSG, etc. I've managed a team before called Al Nassr. What else is there? I've won how many 4 Ballon d'Ors, 1 Super Ballon d'Or. And yeah.
First question. What's it like to play competitive VRFS?
It's fun. It really is. I feel like that's something could be said about everyone. Like everyone enjoys it in their own way, but for me, it's something I've enjoyed for like the past few years. I would say it's a lot of fun.
I find it more fun than just normal publics. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just the fact that it's competitive because I've always liked competitive games. Other than that, I don't know. It's more interesting because you have to actually have a team that's got a good strategy and a good tactics. You know, it's not like publics where you just got to kick it about and hope your team scores. kind of rely on your team as well. You don't just like play it for the fun of it, and then once you lose, you're like, oh, well, I lost. You get a little, like when you started first in competitiveness, you kind of just like realized it was a bit of a bummer if you lost.
Why do you play competitive VRFS?
To show that I'm good at the game. You know, it's something to do in a way, and you know, I like football. I mean, who doesn't, especially when they're playing this game? But like, you know, I find it fun, and I want to prove to people, and I want to show to people that I am good, and that I can be up there with other people.
Kind of towards the first point. I mean, it's just more fun, in my opinion. You kind of got, I don't know.
Final question: how time consuming it is like to play competitive?
I'd say that depends on how much you care about it and like what level you are at. You know, when you play competitive. But let's say you're a player who's in the lower divisions, you wouldn't spend as much time on it. But the higher you go out through like the divisions, the more time you spend on your dribbling or your shooting. So pretty much like the higher you are, the more time you are gonna put in and will put in. You know.
Competitive, I reckon it might take about an hour out of your day if it's like a cup game, like a cup final, it goes to penalties, maybe an hour and a half, but that's about it.
Hello, my name is Naka. I'm VPL of POC, EVL co-POC, and Spod of VRL.
First question: what's it like to be a POC?
It's like loads of people ask you to do customs, all the mods they ask you to do scrims and host scrims. You have to make ID batches as well. Lots of DMs about complaints, tickets. It's quite a hard job and takes a lot of experience and hard work to do.
Okay, that kind of leads into my second question. What do you exactly have to deal with when being like a member of like staff in a league?
We have to deal with rigging in scrims, rigging in giveaways, just rigging in general. Maybe some strikes as well. A mod's done something in VRFS or in DMs. You have to deal with that. We also have to deal with people kind of like begging for promos, and also like what else? That's basically it.
Next question: how time consuming is being a POC founder, whatever?
Being a POC takes quite a long time to like kind of do everything, because most days just always sorting out batches and doing IDs, fixing scrims, all that stuff. So it's quite a long time to do. Maybe takes about like 4 to 5 hours a day, depending on how much time you have to work and what you have to do.
Alright, and final question: do you actually get paid to do any of this?
No, I do this completely for free and for the love of VRFS and the league.
Now, before we get into the bad, and in the future, the godly, I have to say, I'm not trying to make this game look bad. I mean, I actually enjoyed the game and made countless videos before this video, and have overall high praise for this game. However, the evidence piles up. The game has bad parts, and it's unfortunate to say, but we're still covering it. There's no way to beat around the bush for this one. The game is good, but the actual people playing it are mostly bad, like really bad. The game has rules when it comes to these things like toxicity, racism, sexism, and similar just outright awful things. But unfortunately, like a rough 95% of the community just completely is blind to the rules that are put in the game. Luckily, it's not everyone, but it is damning that it's such a large percentage. That's not an actual statistic, by the way, it's just how I feel there's many people being, like, the bad part. And for this little segment of the video, I've compiled a little montage of just examples of people being generally awful on Discord and in-game. I'll keep the obvious, like, worst things, like the Penaldo Incident and the Godly Incident that we'll talk about later in the video. But this is what VRFS can be like.
Yeah, go on, coordinate, go on.
I've literally said fucking.
Just racist, bro.
I'm gonna shit if I call them fucking
Yeah, exactly. So shut up, you
You what? You what?
You're gonna go, you fat nigga.
Oh, okay guys, this is me. Wait, can I get it? Ready?
Stop. Just stop the video. I've made my point there, that people in the game are disgusting. And there's unfortunately more images and screenshots that are out there that I don't even know about. But with that being said, the community isn't the only negative part of the game. So let's continue to the next section. When saying the word customs, I specifically mean custom cosmetics, created for a specific group, with most customs being connected to a league such as VFA, VPLF, and the VSL. There's also few individuals getting their own customs actually, such as Link boots and Sage gloves. These are unique cosmetics as you can't buy them in the traditional sense of a game shop. But purchasing of these customs were done outside of the game, whether that be on PayPal, Google Pay, or other methods of payment. Even though they had a massive update where you couldn't buy customs from individuals, it still doesn't change what people did to get these customs. Let's create a hypothetical here. Let's say you wanted to buy a brand new pair of Goat League boots, but you obviously couldn't buy them in the game shop at the time, and you didn't have the money to buy virtual cosmetics at an extortionate price. I mean, look at these prices, like what? It's crazy how much people actually put these cosmetics at. Back to the point. If you couldn't actually buy them, well, there was one last option: punishments, humiliation, physical pain, and all bits in between. And I just want to talk about some of these things that people have actually done, going in increasing amounts of absurdness. So let's start. Right, I've got 3 examples to talk. The first one is someone breaking their VR headset to get a pair of customs. Like, not intentionally trying to break it, but damaging it in order to get the customs, but they ended up breaking it. The second example is a lot more known, is the taco thing. Where a guy by the name of Taco put a AAA battery... yeah, I'm not saying it. And the worst thing I've been notified about for someone doing getting customs is spraying deodorant on themselves, and yeah, at the most painful area. Even with these examples, there's probably some even worse than what I've mentioned in this video. And luckily, on the 20th of January 2025, access to player portals were closed, which means that customs couldn't be given out just like from PayPal's, basically. And like basically created a gate where only the devs could distribute the customs to leagues, then the leagues would give them the customs out in giveaways and like winnings, like leagues and cups. And after this update, challenges for customs were no more. As far as I know, basically, yeah. On the 29th of August 2024, Vrfs added credits, which is basically the digital currency used in Vrfs. With this update, players were able to send credits from one person to another. And this idea brought upon something evil. People were looking to make money from mistakes of others. With the creation of casinos. The casinos were like this. Games were set up in order to play, where you would pay the owner a certain amount of credits and to play the game. And depending whether you won or lost that game, you'd either get more credits or you lose everything. And some of these casinos had really steep difficulties, whereas either you win like 1 credit back or the rest are basically you don't win anything back. And of course, like actual casinos, the house always won. Luckily though, Vrfs did take some action, with casinos being taken down left, right and centre by the developers. Now there are a very little amount of casinos that are actually in use now. So they also made an update where they actually have to verify all maps. But this was still a big problem, and that's why I needed to cover it, because I lost 300 credits myself. On the 22nd of November 2025, a small content creator by the name of Penaldo decided to try something really risky in order to gain popularity. And if you're just in like the general VR community and know who Biscuit VR is, you know what I'm about to talk about. And it all started from one video where in his announcements page in his Discord server, he said that he might have cancer. And when this information met TikTok's platform, the viewers were split with their thoughts. One side of the community and majority decided to show support to Penaldo in his time of need. But a much smaller group decided to confirm whether or not he did or did not have cancer. People confronted Penaldo and asked for actual proof. And from that moment forward, a large crack in the wall started to show in this. One person asked for proof and got shown this bottle of medicine. And yeah, it doesn't make any sense. And for multiple other people, it caused this post by Penaldo, as he admits that he was lying and was trying to use this new attention to become more popular, but obviously now for the wrong reasons. And in the same post, he says that his granddad actually does have cancer and was using the fact that he had cancer to fund his granddad who did have cancer. And the craziest part is, he wasn't even eligible to make money on TikTok, so he literally wouldn't be able to fund it as quick as he wanted. Quickly after the post, his channel was put into a blank state, with Quit VRFS as the name, and majority of his videos deleted. But newsflash, this guy is trying to come back again. He's making videos, the comments are turned off, but now they're turned on, and he's just making content again. And Loki, we should start a little riot, because I can't believe he's actually trying to come back. It's awful.
days. Not a word, not a video, not a clip, not a post.
Nothing. You may wonder.
And just before we go to the godly part, we are going to do a little segment. I've asked 10 people to show their perspectives on the negatives of the game, and here are the results. So the first question was, out of 10, how bad is the VRFS community, with 10 being the worst, and 1 being that the community is really good and wholesome and all that. And the most common answer, with a 36.4% pick, which means 4 people took it out of the 10, is 7 out of 10, which means the community is pretty shit. The next question was, how much credit did you spend in casinos? Luckily, people doing the survey aren't idiots, and the majority was 0, but there was a guy who said 300. Well, that was me. The next question was, what's the worst thing you've seen from this community? And someone put that they saw someone making a 7-year-old cry by calling him slurs and telling his family shit and stuff like that. Yeah, there. Obviously, there's no evidence to back it up, but yeah, there's also someone getting oiled up for customs, which is crazy. And that marks the end of the segment. On to the godly. The community, casinos, scamming of customs, and even the Penaldo Incident doesn't even compare to this. Members of the VRFS community will know this video all too well, with much history backing it up.
What are you doing, you fat?
Godly, get down for dinner now.
From an outsider's perspective, this is still bad as it's someone saying the N-word. However, in the community, the person actually saying it is a pretty big deal, as he is one of probably the greatest European VRFS players to date, having multiple trophies under his belt, and more than likely being in the VRFS Hall of Fame. And I feel like that's why this video is so known, is because he is already known. The really annoying part is I actually couldn't find an exact date in which this video came out, but it's definitely an old clip, more than likely recorded in 2023, as in the VRFS Discord server. Talks of this clip date back to 2023. That's literally all I have. I don't have an exact date. And now, the moment you've all been waiting for if you've already known about this video beforehand. An interview with the man, the myth, the legend, Godly. Hold on guys, I'm just getting a call real quick. Hello? What do you mean he's ghosting me on all DMs? We went to do the documentary, like the interview, what? You're joking. Okay, I'll see what I can make up.
Hi Godly, this is the only question I've got for you here today. So in the video, of course, you said the iconic line that you said, which I'm not going to repeat. But my question is, why did you say it?
Because he fucking deserved it.
In conclusion to this massive video that I've made, the VRFS isn't meant to be looked down upon, as it has majority good parts, but obviously, like a lot of communities, it's got bad parts. But I think, like every other game, you should try and look at it in a positive light. Well, except for VR chat, except for that nonsense.
Hey guys, thank you for coming to the end of the video of The Good, the Bad and the Godly. This project took over 2 months to make, and I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. And with the credits, I've got to thank every single person involved with helping and like just supporting this project that I've been doing over the past 2 months. Another just note to add, there's actually quite a lot of stuff I wanted to add, but I just couldn't because it's a bit too graphic and also just short of time. I guess I didn't want to drag it out too long and make it a really long project.
Let the 2025
Alright, thank you guys. See you guys later.
begin, boys. And let the game
Move! Move! What are you doing, you fat?
Shut up, see you Godly, get...
Whoa, okay, I got that.
What are you doing, you fart